just talk for a while, huh?
I'm up.
Andrew, how did you get in here?
Back door.
I told you it's going to be a clean show.
That's all, sorry.
Can everybody see us? Michael, yes?
Oh, did I touch my head? I'm sorry.
There, you're perfect.
Thanks. Thanks.
Well, what are we doing here? We have a poet. At least one poet. Actually, we have two poets. Andrew's a poet. Sharon's a poet.
Yeah.
Tara's a thespian. Gee. You're not really going to let this run without editing. And of course, T.J. is a multi-talented actor, director, everything, basically. Did anybody have an idea how we're going to do this? Andrew, you seem to know a lot about T.J. that I don't. Or did you know a lot about Shakespeare?
I suppose it's Shakespeare.
Did you ever run in with him at DCAC?
No.
You weren't part of the controversy?
Not at all.
What controversy would that be?
Apparently there was something pretty controversial that happened because you didn't want me to talk about it.
The place eventually closed down.
But you have to...
Well, it didn't close down completely. The performance space, we had a little problem with zoning back there, but the gallery's always been open. No, I mean, I've only lived here for a month, so...
Where were you from?
Last place I lived was New York.
Oh.
Me and my family lives outside of Detroit, Michigan.
Wow.
What part of Detroit?
Oak Park, Southfield, West Bloomfield.
From Flint.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So TJ, you're back in the Shakespeare business again.
Back in Shakespeare.
Doing some Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar opens March 8th at right above the Boston Metro. We're actually a block from the Boston Metro. And,
Above the Boston Metro? How?
Yeah. Well, there is as we were trying to do some exciting and creative things with Shakespeare and the classics at the Washington Shakespeare Company of Arlington County. We found the 9th floor of an office building, North Fairfax Drive, which is empty, vacant.
Is it
real estate?
Part of that big complex over the Metro?
With it's the one right next to it. There's a gallery there, the Ellipse building.
We just went by there today.
The gallery is. And as you go way up into the top of the elevator, you reach the 9th floor and you step out of the elevator and there is nothing in it at all. It is completely empty everywhere you look, with 14-foot high ceilings and windows all the way around, and at either end there are 30-foot arched windows looking all over Arlington and Washington. It's fantastic. So we looked at it and talked to the good people over there, and they are letting us take Julius Caesar around the entire space there. And so we're going to perform the play.
How did that ever occur to you? I mean, to even
well, we're
look at the space?
Well, we're always looking for alternative spaces to perform, and I talked to Rita Bartolo, who's the visual arts coordinator for Arlington, about doing maybe doing some T.S. Eliot or something small in the gallery there. And we got to talking. Found out there was an empty floor up there, and said, "Oh yeah, Shakespeare here." So we went up, and it's just the feel of the place is fantastic.
Why does Julius Caesar seem like sort of a fit for the space? Or what are you going to do to Caesar? I saw your No Exit, and that was, you did a lot with that. I'm just wondering if you do the same
well,
thing with
we
Julius.
think where we're going to place this is 1992 Eastern Europe, because it seems to, the problem with Caesar and of one individual growing to power seems to sort of fit in a real contemporary sense right now. The whole dilemma that's happening over there, whether it's Lech Walesa or any of these guys, they're growing too great. And a lot of the people underneath it, as there's so much turmoil and change, are saying, wait a second, this one person is getting a little too powerful.
And what can about Gorbachev and the dictatorship.
Exactly. So it's a very contemporary kind of
It's a good thing it doesn't
Europe.
apply to like George Bush or Maggie Thatcher.
Yeah, well, you can't
I'm glad it's Eastern Europe.
To be part of the cult of personality, you have to have a
There
personality.
are other Shakespeare plays that apply to them.
Right.
Yeah. Golly. So Tara, are you going to be in Julius Caesar?
I don't know. There'll be auditions next week.
So we're kind of in the process of sorting the whole thing out right now. Who's going to do what?
It can be a lot of people. I mean, you're going to have, what, 5,000 or 6,000 Roman soldiers at least.
Yeah,
It'd be a real cattle call for those. I could
Right.
probably get in this thing.
Right. Everyone's invited to participate.
Isn't that a great show?
Bring your pike.
Bring my pike. I take it everywhere I go.
Yeah, it doesn't really come without it.
Let's see. Now, you just took over DCAC over in Adams Morgan, right?
Yeah.
You know Dan's, the pool hall across the street?
No, I don't.
Check it out. Is that a great place?
There, yeah.
Do you? I know where hell is.
You're regular.
Yeah.
Well, we went there last night the first time
Yeah.
with Sylvia, and it was so much fun with Polly, who will be my co-host hopefully starting a couple weeks. And we just got completely trashed and played pool, and it was more fun than humans should be allowed to have.
Where is it?
It is right across from your shop. It's right next to the spaghetti garden.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
You know,
Okay, down by like
it says
Bradshaw's
Dan's-
down there?
What is it called? Dan's Cafe or something?
Oh, right. Okay, I know exactly where it is. Right, yep.
No windows.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to do this, Andrew.
To you?
Yeah, but I would really like to hear that song you were singing earlier, the one that starts with the whistle. Can we do that?
That's fine with me. You wanna, should we give that a try?
Well, I'd like to.
Okay, that's cool.
What do you think? Can we get that tape rolling, NJ? It's a big thumbs up.
We have a song.
All right.
You know I'm positive. I said we're all positive. But there's people on the street. Are they positive? If they're positive, are you negative? If you're negative, live and let live. I said live and let live. Now, this is a little rap about the government and all the damn people they would like to forget. Are you with me? How can you dig it?
Way more.
If you're black or white, straight or gay, if you're running jungle sandwich, you can't run away. Despite the little difference between a girl and a boy, so if you're sex and plain Satan, love is more than a toy. It's equal opportunity, we all could die. AIDS don't discriminate, but politicians lie. The FDA is testing, but their feet's made of lead, so that by the time I see these drugs, you know I'll be dead. There are alternatives to profiteering drugs to the sick, but no one gets rich if you move too quick. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
All right. Now, pollution is an issue we can all understand. We got Earth Day and saving the land, and the war on drugs has started, but it isn't the same as the game these people play, because it isn't a game.
The money for your mouth.
It's coming up.
There we go.
Are you with me?
I'm with you.
All right.
Yeah.
Positive. I said we're all positive. Take it, ladies. It's coming up. Yeah.
Let's start with like Dick Clark, where the action is. Can we just start
Spontaneous chorus.
Now, I know it may seem crazy and it may seem absurd, but my time is running out, all because of one word.
What is the word?
Pushing papers ain't no answer, don't you tell me to wait, cause for some of us another day is one too late. Put your motherfucking drugs where your mouth is. All around me people dying and I'm gonna be next. Even some of us quit trying cause they're fucking depressed. Can you blame them? I think we know what the word is.
I think we know what the word is.
Pushing papers ain't no answer. But if you think I'll just lay down without raising my voice, why you try to tell the world that you gave me a choice, that if I would just be patient then a cure would be found, because a cure ain't gonna cut it when I'm under the ground. And put your motherfucking drugs where your mouth is. Everybody put your motherfucking drugs where your mouth is.
Don't break somebody's legs.
Now my brothers and my sisters, if you're angry like me and you aren't hip to swallow in your misery, raise your voices all together so they never forget. And as long as there's one of us, it ain't over yet. This genocide's preventable, reprehensible. It's time to turn the tables on the agencies responsible with healthcare that's affordable, accessible, reliable. Let's end this fucking run around. Don't tell me what your offering's remotely even viable. I do not buy the concept of a secret magic formula. Goddamn it, be accountable for fear and homophobia. You can package this disease, bring me to my knees, choke me with your bullshit, but I won't say please. Now we've had the rest, you better show us your best, because if this is all you got, you done failed the test. It is. It's a big dance hit.
It's a dance hit.
Got a dance?
Dance all over America.
We dance break.
We're in the 15-minute dance
Yeah,
now, right?
extended dance version. Here we go.
Remote time.
Are you positive? Are you positive? Who knows? I said we're all positive. Well, there's people on the street. Are they positive? And if they're positive, are you negative? If you're negative, live and let live. Come on, live and let live.
Grab a shotgun, wow.
Big finish we're coming up to now.
Oh, big finish. Here we go.
Everybody.
There you go.
Warmed up now.
Go up to Big Bobby Brown. Yay! Wonderful, wonderful. Thank God we're not in Dade County or wherever it was. They arrested you for saying something like
That's
that.
right. Two live crew.
Powder?
Makeup.
That was too hot.
Wow.
What, are we back to Miles Davis now? Commercial break. Time to take a nap. Okay, we're back.
Oh,
Sharon.
oh boy, how do I follow that?
I know how. You just showed me this great poem, and then we found out that your old boyfriend is my old pal Ralph, and you got him on the cover of a, what was it, a pornographic magazine?
Yeah, that's from a long time ago. I was a
Blank
young
State.
girl.
Check this thing out, Mike.
I was a young woman.
What a man, huh?
He was a dude.
He was a dude. I never saw Ralph quite like you did, I must admit.
It was a vision.
Is this all about him?
It's a lot.
I'd like to hear something in here.
That's all right.
Though I can't believe that I've only fallen for cats had anything to do with Ralph.
No. But this is history. This is very old.
Is it
I don't usually look back.
I just want to
at
look
that.
in the Ralph thing.
Yeah.
I read a beautiful thing you wrote in here before. The Uncut Funk number 8.
Yeah.
Would you read that for me?
I do that one, sure.
Where is it?
I think it's the very last, the title cut.
Uncut Funk in 8 parts.
Is it
Where can
too
you get
long?
this? Where can you get this? No, it's
You
not
can
too
get
long.
it at, I can get it at my house.
Okay. Okay. Where do you live?
Willard Street. You could get it at WPA.
WPA?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
As long as it's available.
Well, I don't, can I stand up?
You can stand up, sit down,
Can
lie
they see?
down.
Will they be able to see you guys?
We'll be able to see your legs. You ready?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This is sort of like I'm used to performing standing up.
Okay.
Uncut funk. I hear the occasional flap of a rat's tail while reading a book about the real whales while sitting in my real concrete patio. It doesn't get better than this. I can feel that ocean spray. Man in the alley shaking his small thing dry. I was standing on the corner, this guy says to me, "Who say white girl ain't sexy?" I said, "Who say white girl ain't sexy?" I said, "I don't know, sir, but if I see him, I'll tell him it's not so." I walked into the store. I said, "Sir, are you in line?" He says, "Oh, I like it just fine, but is it as good as it is pretty?" I said, "Is it as good as it is pretty?" "Yes, sir," I said, "it is." And then he told me this. "You know, if I wasn't drinking, I'd eat all the bananas, but you know when you're drinking, you can't eat bananas. Don't I know that in my town, if you don't watch out, they'll throw the poems right in your face." I am the whitest woman in D.C. I am searching for my heritage in a bottle of Rebel Yell. I am letting my neck get a little red on Saturday night. But this blonde, blue, and white veneer is a cold deception. Inside, I am warm on this subject. I hate the way the white man walks. I hate the way he dances. I was standing on the corner. This guy says to me, "Hey, want to learn how to walk like a brother?" I said, "That raggedy old walk, that stale old shit, everybody knows how to walk like a brother. You try this one." And I showed him the walk of the white woman who's in a hurry, has her period, and has no prospect yet of getting laid Saturday night. It's sort of pigeon-toed with a nice butt movement and a look of grim determination. He said, "I love you, baby." She said, "If you try to put me in my place one more time, I will throw my entire loving life into your face because, baby, you don't know where that place is." He said, "What do you want from me anyhow? Poetry? How's this? sit o'er my face. The statement is always the same. White people suck, or men suck. They have no soul. They don't know shit about the real world. The statement is wrong. State this. Anyone with the upper hand tends to become an asshole, tends to lose sight of their soul, tends to stop knowing shit about the real world. Psst. Hey, baby. Hey, mamacita. You wanna with me? Ah, piss off, you loser. You wouldn't be able to if I gave you the chance. Why don't you go back to wherever you came from? You look like a loser. You smell like a loser. Fuck you, bitch. You fucking white bitch. You white bitches think you can dominate this world. You can suck my idea of peace on earth is a small apartment in the city, and we're drinking hot tea and listening to jazz. Windows. Every time I look up and see a light on in a small window, I think how warm it must be in there, with all the human drama packed in. I see the same emotions on the street, only it's much colder. I was sitting on the stoop the other day, hating life, when a bum comes up to me and says, I thought you had to be in full yoga in order to meditate. I said, please, please do not mess with my karma today. He said, is it good karma, or does it have to be recycled? I said nothing. He said, did you know that Jesus died for our sins so we wouldn't have to recycle ourselves? I said, no, I didn't know that. He said, well, look at me. And you tell me how I'm walking. Because of Jesus, you tell me how I'm walking. And I said, sir, you are walking free. Thank you.
The part in there that's about how when you're in control, you lose sight of the real world.
I think that relates to this play they're putting on.
Oh, when you were writing it, is it about men being in control, sort of lost sight of?
Oh, no. It was
in that
this
context.
is my answer to all the Black Heritage poems that I
Oh, the white
that I
heritage
see.
poem.
This is the
I
White
think
Heritage poem. I added men suck just because I also feel it's unfair that women always think that men are so terrible.
Always? All women? All men?
No.
It's one of those sweeping generalizations.
No, a lot of women get down on men a lot of the time.
Unfortunately, not enough. But that's another day.
Well, then again.
Perhaps a poor choice of words for a poet. But I did like sit o'er my face. I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. It shows real command of the language.
It does.
That was Old English, yeah.
And of course, you wrote this for this theme, this guy in your mind that accosted you on the street, or somebody actually
No, this
said
was
that.
just a series of things that happened within 1 week.
Really?
Yeah.
You live in Adams Morgan, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, plus one.
Oh, you don't have to live in Adams Morgan.
Yeah.
You don't. Well, how are we doing on time? Anybody got a clue? Looks like we got about 8 minutes left. Let's see if we can find some way to leap into some Julius Caesar. What would be a good segue from walking down the street in Adams Morgan? Well, why do you think that would be appropriate, this whole deal about people in power losing sight of the real world? Think Caesar lost sight of the real world?
I know. I've not read the poem.
Who was the real world? I mean, is Cassius the real world? Is he the John Sununu to...
He is kind of the John Sununu.
Yeah,
That's pretty good. That brings it right up to date.
It does.
And it launches us right into 1991.
Ooh!
Kind of scary, huh?
Shredded
This isn't
the
that
thing.
Something
fun,
about
isn't
that
it?
year, 1991,
I'm looking at the paper the other day.
folds into itself.
I'm reading the paper the other day, and I see George
That all
Bush,
happens once
something
in a while.
second year of his presidency, and I'm thinking that was 4 years ago. And then I realized he has not been president for 6 years. He's only been president for 2 years, but it seems like 6
It
years.
does.
Actually, it seems like about 15 years.
Well, he's
Yeah.
part of a dynasty.
Yeah, that's what it is. I guess he's been part of
He
He's
was-
like the Reagan toy. You broke him open and Bush came out of the middle. You break him
Bush
open, the
did,
next
yeah.
one's going to come out of the middle. One of those Bushkas things.
Right.
What Cassius were you contemplating?
Well, it's, speaking of...
You won't have to stab any of us, right?
Toppling people in power. That seems to be a theme that I hear you say.
Yeah, I think we've all done
Topless.
Great, I'm excited about this.
Well, this is, Cassius is trying to convince Brutus that Caesar's grown too great, that he's gotten too big, that he's too much powerful. They're putting up statues to him all over the place, office buildings, whatever you want to call it, because we're trying to set this in Eastern Europe. So I think it might be things like, the latest Kremlin Tower or Poland or wherever it is, Czechoslovakia. But there are no good guys and there are no bad guys in Hamlet, or they are all good guys and all bad guys. I mean, it isn't that simple in what he wrote about. But as he's talking to Brutus, About Caesar he says, why man he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus. And we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that name, Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together. Yours is as fair a name. Sound them. It doth become the mouth as well. Weigh them. It is as heavy. Conjure with them. Brutus will start a spirit as soon as Caesar. Now in the names of all the gods at once, upon what meat doth this our Caesar feed, that he is grown so great? Age, thou art shamed. Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods. When went there by an age since the great flood, when it was famed with more than one man, when they could say, till now that talked of Rome, that her wide walls encompassed but one man? Now Rome is it indeed, and room enough, when there is in it but one only man. Oh, you and I have heard our fathers say, there was a Brutus once that would have brooked the eternal devil to keep his state in Rome as easily as a king.
Huzzah.
He sets him up, and pretty hard for Brutus to resist after that.
Who's Shakespeare's other great sneaky character that went around about?
Iago.
Iago, exactly. That's what I was thinking of. Shakespeare must have known. Oh, I guess we all know.
Human nature.
So we all,
That's,
all love Shakespeare so much, because it seems like, even in Reader's Digest condensed versions, or Japanese, or, 300 years ago, probably 3,000 years from now, if anybody can still read, it's going to make just as much sense as it always has.
It's however he got humanity, and the good and the bad, and without making them simple and all that kind of a thing. The complexities of power, love, and hate, and
when I think about Hamlet,
tyranny.
I remember when, I forget what we were doing, probably reading Hamlet in college or something like that. I thought about the Freud's use of the Oedipus myth for his concept of the Oedipus syndrome, and the very simplistic view that the son, because of sexual jealousy towards the mother, kills the father, has sex with the mother, blah, blah, blah. But Shakespeare saw the thing in a way that genuinely represents the subtlety of that relationship. Hamlet has two fathers, essentially, a corporeal, sexual stepfather who's running with his mother day and night, and he has the spiritual, perfect father who can do no wrong because he's croaked and he's walking around in the battlements up and down at night. And so he has to see his mother as in both roles as victim of the stepfather, or if you imagine a sort of a dual father. My point is that Shakespeare saw things for their genuine, almost Freudian psychological complexity. He saw the real complexities between people's relationships, which seemed to me nobody else really captured as well. Certainly none of his contemporaries before him, and not many people since. And maybe post-Freud they did, but for somebody pre-Freud to understand those kinds of things and have people like Shylock be such a multidimensional character, a stock figure who everybody would have hated on sight, as white Europeans who could afford to go to the theater, they would see a Jew, and automatically the Jew is the stock villain. And yet he gave Shylock a heart and all the motivations that all of us have. And I think it was a way of, it's the kind of thing that, since then, the only people I can think of that have done it would be, Stephen Bochco, people like that.
Right.
Well, this is television, right?
That's
right.
Well, who knows? Who knows in a couple hundred years how those reruns will play?
There you go.
So they'll say, wow.
That's right. The contradictions
What a
are so
masterpiece.
glaring. Maybe it will become a universal experience to see that so many different dimensions of a human life are being displayed on network television.
All in 52 minutes or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's probably like 46 minutes now, 14 minutes commercial.
That's right.
Yeah.
I wonder if we should have Tara read us to sleep with a little Portia before we hit the lights. What do you think, huh?
Do you think? Is it past our bedtime? I don't know. Now, if it is, I don't know. Well,
Somebody will
okay,
tell us.
since you've been so good,
Thanks.
Okay.
She
Would you be my...
She captures the
essence of Portia.
Yeah,
Would you be my Brutus? TJ, do you mind if I...
No, not at all.
Would be so forward as to assume you're... Yes.
Peanut butter.
You could be my Portia.
Yeah, exactly. Have to save that one.
You've ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed. And yesternight at supper, you suddenly arose and walked out, musing and sighing with your arms crossed. And when I asked you what was the matter, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head and too impatiently stomped your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not. But with an angry wafture of your hand gave sign for me to leave, and so I did, fearing to strengthen the impatience which seemed to much enkindled. And withal, hoping it was but an effect of humor, which sometime hath his hour with every man. Well, it will not let you eat, nor sleep, nor talk. And could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed in your condition? I should know you not now, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with thy grief. All right, children, now your story's over. Spoken very good. Everyone under the covers now.
Boy, I want you after that.
Hot chocolate or something?
Snuggling, everyone.
Somebody hit me. Last one, hit the light, okay? We'll be back, who knows, a couple weeks. Night. Night.
Don't snore this time, Miles.
Yeah, really.
Right.
Found it.
Yeah. Night. Hey.